Hello everyone and welcome to live coverage of qualifying for round 17 of the 2015 CRC World Championship. We are here at the exhilarating Suzuka circuit, where I think it could be a very interesting race on Sunday. Of course, Yanasa Roka, I think they're going to let their drivers race full time now. Now they have the constructors in the bag. They took the constructors last time out, so I see no reason why they should not let their drivers race this weekend. So, I think we could be in for a very interesting rest of the season. Obviously, last time out, we saw an absolutely thrilling race in Sochi, where the two Yanasa Rokas battled it out for the lead. But the big interest going into this weekend is we have been expecting a driver announcement from Coombs GP, and that has not happened yet. I mean, yes, there is still plenty of the weekend left. But Coombs GP are being a little bit quiet about it at the moment, about who they're going to announce. Clearly something they are taking their time over is taking time over their decision. But we should get an announcement like within the next couple of weeks at least. From Coombs GP. Because obviously it's a top team, so they've got to, if they're going to promote a rookie, they really need to decide if the rookie in question is the right rookie to be promoted. But to be honest, it seems like it is going to be O'Driscoll in that car. Next year. Anyway, it's time to go to our KSR coverage of this qualifying session. Hello everyone, welcome to Suzuka for qualifying for the 17th round of the 2015 CRC World Championship. Unfortunately, it's just going to be me in the commentary box for today's qualifying session and tomorrow's race, because James has got other commitments this weekend, so I have to do it myself again. But obviously James has other commitments this weekend, so not very much I can do. Anyway, here we are at Suzuka for the 17th round of the 2015 CRC World Championship. And what I think is going to be a very interesting qualifying session. Obviously, the championship many believe are done. The constructors has been clinched by Yanasa Roka. We know it's going to be one of the Yanasa Rokas that is going to come home with the title. And it's looking increasingly likely it's going to be Alex Moores. But to run you down what happened in last year's race at Suzuka in CRC, it was Kieran Hardy that took victory in the Gindana car, starting off his impressive run in the final few races. And Jack Baldwin finished in second. It was a Gindana 1-2 with Chantal Hawk finishing in 3rd. That was the top 3 from last year's race. But interestingly, the thing I find really interesting is how, because now let's have a look at the practice times. We are 4 seconds off the pace of where we were last year. Because the fastest time in FP3 last year, Chantal Hawk, was a 1:32.712, and in FP3 this morning it was a 36.5. So we are 4 tenths away from where we were last year. But we're almost ready. Here for qualifying. But obviously it's a new game, so we should expect some, and it's apparently a lot harder to drive on this game. So it's not really surprising we have such a gap between where we were last year and where we are now. But we've got 2 minutes to go until the Q1 session is scheduled to get underway here in Suzuka. So hoping to see if we can get more people tuning in on the live stream in these 2 minutes. Of course, we've had some really good turnouts in terms of the viewing rate recently. It has definitely grown, because I remember I complained after Valencia. I didn't actually look at the view count. I found that one got the highest I've received all season in terms of peak of 9. But the viewing rate has recently been consistently at around 6 or 7 or 8. And that is really good. So I do really thank everyone for tuning in, taking, like, even if you only viewed for a few laps, taking like 10 minutes out of your day to view these races, which I do put so much effort into. So really, and let's see if we can get a race with double figures before the end in terms of viewing peak, before the end of the season. So I do really thank everyone a lot for showing interest in this league. Even if you're only someone who asks questions but doesn't really view the streams, then I do thank everyone for actually showing some interest in this league. Because this year, I remember in terms of publicity, it did start off a bit slow this year. I mean, the first race got a good amount of views, but then it kind of went down. But recently, the viewing rate has gone up. So I think this year has been quite successful in this part. Especially even trusting that I was going to be able to stream without any issues. And we do have a bit of a delay because I've messed up in terms of the session time. As you can see there, it should be 20 minutes rather than 30. But I do feel really glad that it's privileged that we've got this amount of views, especially considering all the issues I had with streaming pre-season. For example, the issue that I had at the last race of 2014 when I tried to stream that. All the issues I had in pre-season testing, and so far we've had streams without many issues. So I do feel really grateful that people have still trusted me that I was going to be able to stream without any stupid issues. Especially as so far these streams this year have, I don't want to speak too soon, I might be jinxing it and then maybe it might Maybe a few slight disconnections during the odd practice session, but no major issue. And Q1 is about to get underway here in Suzuka. And the session is underway now. No immediate activity at the start of Q1. We have the CGP of Max Wondragala who opens the session. So Max Wondragala has opened Q1. We do have quite a few grid penalties for this weekend, and all of them are engine penalties. Elliot Everson, his penalty, he actually got his engine penalty for Russia, but because he had a back of grid penalty anyway, that got forwarded. That penalty has to be served separately, so it got forwarded to here. And he actually is not participating in this qualifying session because the chances are he is going to, whatever happens, he is going to be at the back of the grid, whatever happens. And the other two have got grid penalties for engine for a sixth engine. Is James Humphreys, who lost his fifth engine last time out in Sochi, and this is a really unlucky and unfortunate one, Lucy Woodward. I mean, going into the summer break, she's not lost an engine, or she'd actually been perfect. Her first two engines lasted the first 5 races, which is what they need, what she needed. But then, she's had 3 engine failures in the last 6 races, and now is on to her 6th engine, having only been on her 3rd in Zandvoort. Alex Moore's got a bit of traffic, but that shouldn't... If you can clear the traffic as soon as possible. So is Willessie. Willessie's got a lot of it. But Elliot Everson is not gonna set a time because he feels there is no point in doing so. As Max Wondragala heads up to 130R. And heads into the chicane. And crosses the line to do a 38.8. Even if Essie does get held up by these two Champagnes, it should still at least be a lap good enough to get in. Will Buckington a 38.3. I wonder if we're going to have... Because Chantana, I think, has struggled this weekend a little. So I'm not sure whether we're going to see a Chantana into Q2. Matthew Tooson to the 37.9. as he's now going to pass the Shantana with absolute ease. Of Zach Sadiq, that was. As Alex Moores does a 36.9. Essie goes second, obviously he got held up. That should still at least be a good enough lap to get in. One person who might struggle is Matt Coombs, because considering he's got the speed tech ahead. Here is Kieran Hardy. He goes 10th. That's a bit off for Kieran. He got held up by Steele for the majority of that lap. That explains that. So Chantal Hawk's actually being held up by our own teammates. Could cause a bit of controversy. As Dan Milner is about to set a time, he's got the DMAD ahead, but that won't affect him. With a hype of activity at the beginning of this session, as he goes fourth. We should expect a few people to run into traffic. Lucy Woodward's got Max von Jagala, who I presume is... Yeah, he is pitting, so... Yeah, everybody seems to be struggling to get a clear run in at the moment. As Lucy Woodward now starts lap. Of course, this time last week she stopped on pit exit, so didn't set a time in Q1. Dan Phillips up there in 11th. He has had a disrupted weekend. He's not had much running, so it has definitely been a difficult weekend for Dan Phillips. As Lucy Woodward heads up to the hairpin. Coombs goes up to 5th, so that should get him in. So both the Ashbrookers seem to have scraped this session already in terms of getting through, so as across the line goes Lucy Woodward, who goes up into 9th place. Chantal Hawk still being held up by her teammate. But I think they've actually been using a tow from Duran. Hawk only goes 19th. That's not safe. Especially with the likes of Morrow and Baldwin's still yet to set. Baldwin's in there at the moment. Morrow's not even been out on track yet, I don't believe. I'm pretty sure Hawk will go for another one at the end, but she's going to want it to be clear. Tom Farrow-Smith has not set a time yet. Louise Morrow's just going out on track. Now, Louise Morrow's looked reasonable in terms of pace so far this weekend. As into turn 1 goes Tom Farrow-Smith. Of course, in his second year of CRC. But the two drivers who are looking in danger at the moment of dropping out is both Hawk and Baldwin. But they are the two main drivers who we are expecting to improve. Of course, Louise Morrow's there as well, but she's not like one of the huge front runners. As into Spoon goes the wheel spin Lockie of Tom Farrow-Smith. Into 30R. Braking into Casio. As Tom Farrow-Smith goes 23rd. Louise Morrow's started the lap. I think Dork were trying to use Duran for a tow, but it didn't work out. Here we're looking at Louise Morrow, who we should expect to get through in the RTS. Into Spoon. Now up the back straight past the alternate pits. Across the line goes Louise Morrow. Where's this put her? 12th, so that should easily get her in. Both Mossets have gone out there. Baldwin's gone out there. Chantel Hawk's just gone out there. Here's Joshua Moores. Let's see what he can do in that Moss. Obviously, it's been a very tricky season for Mossad. Obviously, being taken over by MAT for next year. They just don't have the finance at the moment. Because they have had financial issues, many sponsors dropping out recently. As Joshua Moore's about to finish that, I don't think this is going to be an improvement. Harvey Williams is improving slightly. As Chantal Hawk just starts a lap. At this point she's probably praying no one exits the pits. Oh, there's the Shantana. But she gets away with that to a point that she should be safe. She just got away with that. Let's see how Harvey Williams is going to do at the finish of this lap. At the end of this lap. He doesn't improve. Jack Baldwin, he's improving enough. There is a bit of traffic ahead that shouldn't affect him on this particular lap though. So Jack Baldwin. Luke Julian, both CGPs look not really looking particularly safe. As Baldwin is improving in the final sector. Oh, but way too much curb into Casio Triangle. As Baldwin goes 7th, so that should get him in. That pushes Chantal Hawk out, but Chantal Hawk is on a better lap. So I'm presuming this will be enough to get in for Chantal Hawk. 9th fast, that should be enough. So now it's the two Shantanas that we need to have a look at. Luke Julian is looking under pressure at the moment. In fact, both CGPs are looking under pressure. So Luke Julian. Oh, Chloe Carter's got a bit of traffic. I'm sure that she's praying that Quintanilla pits. That's her done. Quintanilla didn't pit. She has got past Quintanilla, but that would have probably cost her too much time. It's Wondragala who's now on the cusp. He's behind Quintanilla though as well. And he's going to be really held up. Zach Sadiq's not on a particularly good lap. He's improved in the second sector. Chloe Carter, I think, is finished. I think she's got too much traffic. Yeah, Chloe Carter, I think, is finished. I think that's it, to be honest. So here is Carrie-Anne Peace. She improves, but doesn't improve her position. James Casey on that. I think we know who we're going to lose. Shantana have not had the best of weekends, and it looks like we are going to lose both Shantanas in Q1. Now, James Casey, there's faster cars behind. That could cost James Casey. So now, is James Casey heads up towards 130R? If he stays ahead of Baldwin and he's improving, he's now got to hope Baldwin and Jones don't try to pass. Which they don't, so James can improve on this lap. Across the line, he doesn't improve his position. You know, Zach Sadiq's got too much traffic. So I think that's it. Yep, that is it for Q1. Kerry-Ann Peace is continuing to improve. Unless she is forced to pit. As into the final chicane she goes, I think she is going to be able to complete this lap. Across the line goes Kerry-Ann Peace. No improvement. So, in Q1 we have lost both Shantanas, both Mossets, both Lockies, both HWRs and both Speedtechs. Of course, Elliot Everson never set a time. So, we now know who has fell at the first hurdle. So that is Q1. Done. So now we know who we have lost in Q1 with regards, but very interesting session, but not really any real surprise. Both I think Shantana will be disappointed to have lost both cars in Q1 there. I think Shantana will be very disappointed with that, considering their upgrades have worked, but they just haven't been able to get it together this weekend for some reason. But Q2 coming up. Shortly here at Suzuka. We're just waiting for Q2 to get underway. Obviously with the Japanese Grand Prix this weekend, it's going to be a very interesting race, but we not very many surprises in there. But to reiterate, in 21st on the grid, it is the 27 of Chloe Carter, who did a 39.014. In 22nd on the grid, it is the 23 of Zach Sadiq, who did a 39.3. In 23rd on the grid, it is the 3 of Joshua Moores. on a 139.698. In 24th on the grid it is the 7 of Harvey Williams on a 139.750. 25th on the grid it is the 42 of Tom Farrow Smith, out qualifying his teammate on a 39.836. In 26th on the grid it is the 4 of Kerry-Ann Peace on a 139.863. 27th on the grid it's the 46 of George Chandler on a 140.212. In 28th it is the 9 of Holly Steele on a 140.316. Chandler out qualifying her once again. Obviously what could actually turn out, because Steele was only confirmed till Suzuka. So maybe someone else is going to be in that car in the Circuit of the Americas. In 29th, it is James Casey. It is a 78 James Casey on a 141.089. And at the back of the grid, having not set a time due to his 10th place grid penalty, he opted not to set a time in that session, which is not really surprising, because there's not really any point, no matter where, because it is kind of obvious, no matter where he qualified, he was going to always be at the back of the grid for tomorrow's race, due to his grid penalty. But we're almost ready for Q2, where we're going to lose the next 10 cars. Obviously before Q3 gets underway. And the weather conditions are absolutely fabulous here this weekend. But the weather conditions are absolutely fabulous. But we're almost ready for the second part of qualifying. Here we go. For Q2. As here we go. We'll switch to the scene. It's Q2 time. Here at Suzuka. For the 15-minute session. We're underway. It's Jack Baldwin who has opened Q2. in the Gindana Motorsports car. So let's see who else has gone out on track. We've seen Tom Mongol, Lucy Woodward, Esley, who's got a bit of traffic in the form of Lucy Woodward. But just talking about next year, the engine manufacturers do actually have quite a task to downgrade their engine to a V6 and incorporating an ERS system and a turbocharge onto it, incorporating it into a power unit. But nowhere near as much of a task as they had for this year. Yes, he's going to easily pass Woodward there. That curb is absolutely vulgar. It could cause quite some crash if someone hits it too heavily. As Essie starts up, there's a car X in the pits ahead. Hopefully no one's going to disrupt Essie's time, which no one does. Alex Moore's is out on track. Essie's gonna have this clear run, which if he can get it right, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't easily get him into Q3. The Jack Bond is a 39.4. A bit slow. I think Bourne must have been held up. Yet by Will Buchan he got held up by. Yet Wondagala goes faster. Milner's at a 37.8. As Essie now to the 36.7. So that should easily get him in to Q3. Lucy Woodward's had a terrible lap. I think she must have been stuck in the dirty air of Esley. Across the line goes Alex Moores, who only does a 37.1. Here is Kieran Hardy. 4th fastest. A few drivers have not been out on track yet. And they are Bland, Hawk and Tucson. Here we're looking at Luke Julian, who's yet to set a time. If Jones is about to finish a lap that should be good enough. Fifth for Toby Jones. Hannah Duran starts out, but she could be held up here. Julian's being held up by the Master Force. As out on track has gone Chantel Hawk. Same with Matthew Tucson, who's just behind his teammate Matt Coombs, who has started a lap. As into the hairpin goes Matt Coombs. Duran goes third. So Matt Coombs is about to finish the lap. Where is this going to put him? Puts him up into 7th. I don't think that's good enough. That's particularly safe. And that might be the only run that he has. We're looking at Chantal Hawk, who's on her first run. Everyone's been out on track now. That looks good at the Declan too for Hawk. Into the hairpin goes Chantal. Up into Spoon. A really long corner. Now up the back straight, over the crossover, the unique feature of this Suzuka circuit, into 130R. Into Casio Triangle. Oh, a lot of curve there, but she actually controlled that well. She goes 6th. It's not the safest that she's been, but Lucy Woodward, I think, is someone we need to keep an eye on. Dan Phillips is on a lap. We're not also Lucas Quinton either. David Bland is on a lap. Matt Coombs is not looking particularly safe. He might be able to go again. He only just got into the pit, so he will need time to like refuel and everything. So David Bland, here he is. On a lap. Lucy Woodward behind on track, who we should keep an eye on after this, from David Bland. I don't think it was fully flat through 30R. Across the line goes Dave, to go 13th. CGPX in the pits ahead of Bland. And don't forget, Lucy Woodward has an engine penalty, so she'll be obviously wanting a lot more than to finish qualifying 15th. Been a reasonable first sector for Lucy. But now there is where it could cost her. If those two guys ahead fight for the track position, then that could really hold Woodward up. The CGP has got out of the way, but then now he might receive the blue flags from Woodward. Yeah, this is now already starting to cost her time. I think that's Woodward done in terms of setting a decent time. Yeah, that's the lap completely gone for Lucy. That is the lap completely gone. Really unlucky there for Lucy Woodward. Those two guys started fighting it out for track position. I think that lap might have been good enough, but she's still got another lap though. David Bland, who's on really worn tyres now, I think might get in the way here. So I think that is... what a terrible session for Lucy Woodward. She had the pace to get in, I think. I think she could have got in. Look how much time she found in the final sector. I think she had the pace to get in. As Baldwin gets in, Jack Baldwin gets in, that displaces Will Buchan and adds insult to injury for Lucy Woodward. And that just adds insult to injury because at the moment she's going to have another bad qualifying. Will Buchan's on a lap and that could displace Matt Coombs, who is out on track, but I don't think he's got out in time. Lucas Quintanilha's on that, but I think he had to back off for the Inasaroka exiting the pits. Will Buchan's down his previous best, so I don't see how it's going to improve. And now he's completely dive-bombed Matthew Tewson. That could have actually benefited him there. Maybe that's why he did it. He's pitting. He's given up. So I think we now know who we're going to lose. James Humphreys on a lap. He's not been forced to pit yet. Yeah, Humphreys is pitting. he's being forced to pit. So I think that is it. So we now know who we're going to lose from this session. Don't forget, Humphries and Woodward have engine penalties. Yep, so now we know who we have lost from Q2. Lost both Baronassos, both DMADs, both RTSs, both Toves, and both CGPs. And that is Q2. So we're just waiting for Q3 to get underway with the 15-minute fight for pole position between the two NAS rotors, and at the moment it looks like SC has the upper hand. We're just waiting for Q3 to be able to get underway. But don't forget, 2 of the drivers have engine penalties. But 11th on the grid. It is the 69 of Will Buchan on 138.136. In 12th on the grid, it's a 33 of Lucas Quintanilla. On a 38.543. 13th, it's the 43 of James Humphries, who has an engine penalty, so will drop back. And 138.579. With a 10th place grid penalty. In 14th on the grid is the 15 of David Bland. Obviously he will be promoted by the penalty of James Humphries on the 38.698. In 15th on the grid, it is the 17 of Dan Phillips. In 138.723. 16th on the grid, it's the 25, obviously she's going to drop back due to a grid penalty, of Lucy Woodward. And 138.755. In 17th on the grid it is the 53, obviously she will be promoted by the penalties. And the 138.773, it's Louise Morrow. In 18th on the grid, it is the 70 of Tom Mungle. And 138.782. 19th on the grid, it's the 89 of Max Wundergala. 138.992. And at the back, and in 20th on the grid, it is the 5 of Luke Julian. And 139.979. And that is how, obviously, we have penalties that's going to change. Obviously, the penalties have not been applied yet. We're almost ready for Q3. Who is it going to be who's going to take pole here at Suzuka? We're almost ready. No rain expected at all for this session. The conditions have been brilliant all weekend. Be thankful that we've got some good weather this weekend here at Suzuka. But we're ready for Q3, which gets underway shortly. But we're expecting it to be another Yanataroka front row here at Suzuka. Because we're almost ready. For Q3, which is about to get underway. And we are underway for Q3 with the remaining 10 cars. And it's Chantel Hawk who has opened proceedings here in Q3. But it is the two Dork Racing cars who have opened proceedings. Hannah Duran has followed her teammates out. When are we going to see any of Yanatarokas out on track? It's just if Essie's going to take the risk to go for one flying lap. That worked in Singapore. Or if either of the two Yanatarokas are going to take that risk. That worked for Essie in Singapore. Dan Milner goes out onto the track. Still need the Yanataroka going out on track. Got the Gindana of Jack Goodwin, so Hawks had a lap disrupted there a little bit by the Gindana exiting the pits. Everybody bar Tucson, the Rokers, and Hardy have gone out on track. I think the Rokers are waiting for a clearer track. As up towards Spoon goes Chantal Hawk now. Still no sign of the Brokers out on track yet, and they are the two cars we are expecting to fight for pole. Hawk to the 37.6, reasonable time. See what Duran's going to do. Duran goes second. Essie's gone out there. Alex Moores hasn't though. So finally we see SC out on track. Coombs has gone third. Here is Dan Milner. Let's see where he's going to go. Fourth. Not a very good time for Dan Milner. Masters, I think, have struggled recently. Toby Jones. Let's see where Toby Jones is going to go. He goes second. He split the two dogs. So now SC starts his lap. He bounces off the limiter heading into turn one. A bit of oversteer. Didn't look the best. Jack Baldwin's gone through to up into fourth place. So at the moment it is Hawk from Jones, from Duran, from Baldwin, from Coombs, from Milner. Still awaiting Hardy, SC, Moores and Tucson to set times. Tucson's just gone out there. That looked very good at Degner for Esley. Now through 200R goes Esley. Really getting onto the power. Onto the crossover into 30R. Across the line, round the final corner goes Will. It's a Pro B provisional pole, but what time? It's a 36.7 for Will Esley. Alex has gone out there. No, he hasn't. Still awaiting Alex Moores. Let's have a look at Tucson. Still, Moores and Hardy have not been out on track yet. Into turn 1 goes Tucson. Still no sign of Moores yet. SC's actually going for another one to see if he can further cement that margin. I don't think the tyres will have enough, to be honest. As through 200R goes Tucson. Now into 130R. Up to the final chicane. Into the final corner. Where's this going to put Tucson? Puts him 6th. Moores has gone out there. As into the hairpin goes Alex Moores. 5 minutes left on the clock. And now round the final 2 corners. Now at this point Alex is going to pray no one exits the pits at the worst possible time for him. Which no one does, so into turn 1. Not looking the best through turn 1. Will he be able to beat SC's 36.7 though? Oh, way too much curb. But looking good on the power through Dunlop. Looks quite good through Degner. So now up through 200R goes Alex Moores. Hardy's on a lap ahead. Oh, very slow through Spoon by the look of it. And 19.2. Into the final chicane. Where is this going to put him? He's now got the run to the line. He's basically done all he needs to do. Where is he going to put? Where's this going to put him? It puts him second at 36.9. So it's Esley on provisional par. I think that's going to be the last lap. Hardy has gone 4th. In the meantime, both Coonspeeds have gone out there again. We might see a bit of a hive of activity towards the end of this session. Hardy's gone 4th. Into turn 1 goes Chantal Hawk. Is Alex Moore's going to go for another run though? He's going to try on this set of tyres, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Alex Moore's is done yet. Essie's, I don't think it's going to get time out in time to be able to set a reasonable time. As across the timing beam he goes. He's down. I don't think this is going to be enough. Unless he can absolutely fly in this final sector. That looked quite good through the final game. I wouldn't be surprised if this is personal best. It's not a personal best. Oh, Chantal Hawk's gone way too wide. Going into Spoon. She got backed up behind the Coombe GP. Of Matthew Tewson. And that is her done, I think. Hannah Duran is on a lap. Here we're looking at Hannah Duran. See if she can improve. Into Spoon she goes. Up towards 130R. This is looking fairly measured so far from the Dork Racing driver. It's up on her previous best. Quite a way to go because her teammates set quite an impressive time in comparison to those behind. So I think this could be 4th. It puts her 4th. Here's Matt Coombs. Is he going to be able to improve in this final sector? Looks good. In the final chicane. Dan Milner's gone 5th. Where's this going to put Matt Coombs? No improvement. And now it's going to force everyone to pit. So that is it. We have our grid. It's Will Essie who's taken pole. Will Essie has taken his 3rd pole in a row here at Suzuka. Almost 2 tenths ahead of Alex Moore's. With Chantal Hawk best of the rest in 3rd. And that is your grid. In 4th on the grid, it is Hannah Duran. What an interesting qualifying session that was. It is Will Essie on pole here in Suzuka. in what was an interesting qualifying session. Now we are set for what should be a fascinating Japanese Grand Prix tomorrow. So, to reiterate, in pole position, it is the 11 of Will Esley. I'm actually going to give you a full-on rundown once the grid is all finalised with all the penalties and everything. But it's going to be an interesting race tomorrow. But who is it going to be who's going to take victory at Suzuka? Of course, once the grid is all finalised, we are going to give you a full rundown. But it's definitely going to be a fascinating race tomorrow we see at Suzuka. And we believe the grid has now been finalised. And we can now get prepared to give you a full rundown of the grid for tomorrow's race. Okay, so here we go. In 30th on the grid, it is Elliot Everson who's got a 10-place grid penalty and didn't set a time in that session. In 29th on the grid, it is James Casey who lost the HWR Speed Tech Battle. And 28th on the grid, in what could be her last race of the season, it's Holly Steele on a 40.3, with George Chandler out qualifying his teammate for the third time in the HWR. In 26th on the grid, it is Kerry-Ann Peace behind Lucy Woodward, who drops at 25th after her 10-place grid penalty. 24th on the grid, we have Tom Farrow-Smith, who out qualified his teammate ahead of just behind Harvey Williams in 23rd. James Humphreys will start in 22nd after his 10-place grid penalty, with Joshua Moores in 21st. In 20th, it is Zach Sadiq. Disappointed qualifying for Shantana, with Chloe Carter in 19th. Siege will be disappointed with their qualifying. In 18th, sorry about the phone, it is Luke Julian. With 17th, we have Max from Degard, disappointment for CGP. 16th, it is Tom Mungle. Louise Morrow in 15th in the RTS. 14th place, it is Dan Phillips, but behind David Bland in 13th. In 12th on the grid, it is Lucas Quintanilla with Will Buchan just outside the top 10. Rounding out the top 10, it is Matt Coombs ahead of, just behind Matthew Tucson in 9th. In 8th, it is Jack Baldwin in the Gindana Motorsports, but just behind Toby Jones in 7th. In 6th on the grid, it is Kieran Hardy with Dan Milliner in 5th in the Masterforce. In 4th, making up Road 2, it is the Two Door Racing Cars. Hannah Duran in 4th with Chantel Hawk in 3rd. In 2nd on the grid, it is Alex Moores, who couldn't get close to the pole position man, Wesley. And that is your grid for tomorrow's Japanese Grand Prix. Tomorrow's race will be brought to you live with the stream starting at 20 to 11 in the morning. And we are scheduled for lights out at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll see you tomorrow for the Japanese Grand Prix. Goodbye.